revealed Porsche's street-legal Le Mans Hypercar. Look at this thing. We conjectured that perhaps this was the new Halo car, the new road-going Halo car. Johnny, you're shaking your head no. Why?
That's a one-off.
Sip in on the steering wheel. And the cup holder is bizarre in this situation.
I agree.
What is that doing there?
It's a road car.
Why is the cup holder there, if not a clue for a passenger car they will be selling?
Am I lined up right on the camera?
That's terrible.
Yeah, you're lined up right on the camera. You're lined up right. Is he lined up right? He's lined up right. Let's start the show. Welcome to Spike's Car Radio. Zuckerman's lined up right.
You fucking moron. Pack of morons.
It's like the Three Stooges, the show.
Where do you think I came from?
You knothead.
Where did I come from?
When you walked out of the bathroom and dried your hands on your shirt, left stains, you were so Three Stooges-y a minute ago. We had to delay the start of the show.
It's not a stain is something different than some water.
Well, I just didn't want every comment in YouTube to be what's on Zuckerman's shirt. I was just trying to protect you. But I looked over and quietly I went, he's a Three Stooge. I don't know what happened in there, but I don't think anybody wants to know. They want to talk about cars. They want to talk about Porsches. They want to talk about the automotive.
Why are you bothering me? Why are you picking on me?
Because you're both knotheads.
Because the pre-show is interesting to folks. They don't get to see it. That might be the pay window that you get to see the pre-show, but...
Or when we go off the air, can we just do one where all the stuff we can't talk about, we talk about, and then we just all die, and that's the end?
Without getting into it, without teasing anybody, last Friday, we got together at Baldwin Hills, the three of us with Jerry Seinfeld, and we did a podcast without recording equipment. We got together, we smoked cigars, we ate Mexican food, and boy, did we have a time. And it was, and Jerry's like, why didn't you record this? And I know you're going to be upset with me, but I said to him, I don't want you to feel like you have to do a show every time you come. And I think it'd be really fun if we just, without having to worry about the camera, just talk and have a good time. And it was almost the exact length of a podcast. It was no holds barred. No edit, everybody was just saying what was on their mind, and it was great. Really good.
And what minds?
It was not that different from this show, except
bunch of idiots laughing.
But we had a good time, didn't we?
Yeah.
You had a beer, didn't you? You drank
a beer.
Yeah.
And then I went to a strip club.
You did?
I did.
After?
Went to Jumbo's Clown Room.
Wow. Good for
Do
you.
you have to be Jumbo to go to Jumbo's?
No.
He is. Well, there's big news in the Porsche world. This car finally broke cover. The 963 RSP revealed Porsche's street-legal Le Mans Hypercar. Look at this thing. This deal, I guess, was built as a one-off for Le Mans this year. Is that right, Johnny? Is that what I...
An RSP means something.
What is it? Rensport?
No, it's someone's initials. I'm blanking. It stands for, I'll think of it. I'll look it up.
You look it up. You look it up.
Yes.
At the end of last year's IMSA season-ending Petit Le Mans, a group of Porsche folks got together to talk about how they could commemorate the 50th anniversary of the company's creation of the road-going 917. I think there's a picture of that car down below, maybe, Cameron.
And they were driving in tandem. There they are, together.
There they are in tandem. Porsche made the car for Count Rossi, heir to the Martini and Rossi liquor fortune. Is that what it stands for?
Martini and Rossi on the rocks.
Yes.
Can you do the song? Sorry, we're talking over each other.
Despite the fully trimmed interior, Rossi's was a full-on Le Mans winning race car for the road. The Italian managed to get a license plate for it from the state of Alabama. Right, Zuckerman? We know that story.
There's plenty of Italians in Alabama.
Cut to the Alabama DMV.
Yeah.
There's a call from who?
Count Rossi.
Count Rossi's on the phone. Count Rossi's on the phone.
He's some kind of Italian?
Yeah. Hey, Ingram, get us some banjo music. Yep, we got a call from Count Rossi.
That's not what it stands for.
What?
It's Roger Cyril Penske.
There you
RSP.
go. But listen, let's get it back to what I was talking about. This 917, they couldn't register it, so they called some guy in Alabama and got it done and got a license plate.
They called the Olive Garden.
Yeah, now that's cool. So
ravioli for everyone.
Here's what they said. October 12th was a very specific day where a couple of people sat together. We were brainstorming. How could we reimagine such a story of today recalls Timo Reich, CEO of Porsche Cars North America, in a virtual meeting roundtable. Why weren't we on that call?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have been there. And we started that day on a project where only very few people were involved. They created what in Germany is referred to as a submarine project. Look at that thing. Stay right there.
A U-boat.
Existing beneath the visible surface, only emerging when absolutely necessary. This is a very beautiful car. Now, here's where I'm a little bit confused. Like, we were talking and we conjectured that perhaps this was the new Halo car, the new road-going Halo car. Johnny, you're shaking your head no. Why?
That's a one-off. It's a one-off.
We know it's a one-off now, but is this...
No, nobody... No.
I would buy that.
It's too much. It's not a real production car. It's just a one-off. You know, it's like the GT1. They made 5 of them. Or something.
Okay.
It wasn't a Halo. It was just it's a special project for.
But it isn't it like 918 based? Isn't it?
963 based.
It has elements of the 918 in it as well.
Of course.
Well, I mean, it's
And the 918 was sold to us.
Yeah, but it's the
So if it's not this, then what is it?
What is this or what?
No,
what is the
what is the
Halo
Halo
car?
car?
What do I know? But it ain't.
And what
this.
do I know?
What do
Write
I
that
know?
down in
There
the
you go.
book. What do I know?
Yeah, what do you know?
Nothing.
Well, yeah, more than you about this. That's a
Okay,
963 race
this I
car.
would take for coffee.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. I'm Count Rossi.
But Zuckerman, honestly, you would not be able to get into that. Like sports seats. Like, how are you getting into
I know
that?
the interior looked like an enhanced interrogation technique.
Show us a shot of the interior there on the
interior
right.
is the only part I like. I like the
Okay.
interior.
Yeah, I'm not
Look at
getting
that.
in that.
Oh, look at that. That's great.
Yeah, look.
You're not getting in it.
I get
believe
into
it,
that.
man. You're not
I'd
getting
get
in
right
that.
in that.
I've
gotten into a Valkyrie. I
I'll
get
bet
into
you
that.
$1,000 right here on the air.
Sip in on the steering wheel and the cup holder.
Who are those two guys over there?
I don't know, but check out this
Count
steering
Rossi.
wheel. Check out this steering wheel, Zuckerman.
It's a race car. That's why it's not a Halo. Yeah.
And am I correct? Is that a cup holder
It's a cup holder.
with a giant coffee in it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it's for Penske. He's American. Americans need cup holders. So, you know.
And go in a little closer above the steering wheel, and there are a bunch of guys with hats there. Who are those guys? Astronauts?
French police. Those are
French police.
Really? I don't know. They look
But
like
the cup holder is bizarre in this situation.
I agree.
What is that doing there?
It's a road car. So
But don't you think that, again, I don't know that I agree with you, Johnny. Why would you put that in there if you weren't kind of saying as a clue, we're going to make this for
It's
you
a
folks?
German sense of humor thing.
And it's a tribute to a one-off 917 road car they made. So they're
That did not have a cup holder in it. I'm saying, here's the question I'm putting to you. Try to listen. Why is
I'm listening.
Why is the cup holder there if not a clue for a passenger car they will be selling? Your answer. The cup holder.
Look at the steering wheel. There's your answer. This is not a production car. This is a one-off street legal race
Zuckerman,
car.
you understand the question, right? Johnny seems to have
I
a
got the
mental block.
question.
Why is the cup holder there is the question.
Okay, to me,
What is it? What is your answer?
Because they're going to it's a street car, so it has a cup holder. A
Like,
race
to me,
car,
Then if it's a street car, therefore...
they're making one. They've said they're making one.
All right.
I think
disagree.
it's kind of a joke. I think it's a bad German joke. That's their idea of humor from the U-boat project. We put in coffee cup, make everyone laugh.
Show me a U-boat. So you think this cup holder is a joke?
Just like those guys that look like U-boat people in the background.
I think this is one of the
those look
most.
French.
I think Johnny and you know, I'm not angry with you, but I am trying.
I'm angry with you.
I am trying to get you to pay attention to something.
The one-off car has a cup holder. That's it. That's the end of the story.
The
It's a
one-off
street
car that took all of this design. Why did they include this? This is a bizarre.
'Cause it's a
you
street
shouldn't
car.
Look, you shouldn't look past it. It's not a street car. Look at everything in the interior. Go back to the exterior. There's nothing about it that says street car.
It's literally
it says
a
race
street
car.
No, but it's a Straßenwagen. It's a street version of a race car. It's paired with the one behind it, the 917, which was the one street version of a race car.
I get it, but there's no cup holder in that.
Because in the 70s, no cars had cup holders.
In the 70s, in the 917, in these race cars, they had luggage compartments. There were all sorts of requirements that made this car a second seat and
there was
other
no
things.
cup holder requirement.
But there was no cup holder. So if they wanted to do something heritage like that, they could have put
Paul, help me, please.
They could have put the second seat in. They could have put these things. No,
you figured it out. This is the new 911. You're looking at the 994. That's
I'm saying the cup holder is a bizarre choice, and I don't think you can argue that. It's bizarre.
It's not. Street cars have cup holders. People drinking cars.
And a street car, therefore, is a production car and could possibly be sold to people. Do you see what I'm saying?
It's a one-off. It's a one-off. They're selling the one-off.
Now.
They're not.
Okay. I understand.
You understand what I'm saying.
I understand
Zuckerman,
the
right?
inference you're trying to draw. In court, we would say your circumstantial evidence. You're pointing to this. I think it's bad.
My inference is very simple. It's a bizarre choice. One.
Yeah.
One.
Every car
possibly, I think you're right. I think it's a bad German joke. Two. But it could also be, three, the least likely chance, a little bit of a breadcrumb to say, we're making this for you, Porsche people. This is coming. We're going to make a version of this car, right?
Yeah, this is this is door number 3. Santa Claus is a real person.
That's all. And I guess time will tell.
You don't believe in Santa Claus?
I don't believe in Santa Claus. Time will not tell. That's a one-off, and they're not going to make more than one.
Time will tell if it's a really stupid joke that the German designers made. Yeah, we're going to know.
Zuckerman's 100% right. It's just like, yeah, ha, ha, put a cup holder. Ha, ha, ha. That's all it is. That's all it is. They had to put a cup holder in the 911. It drove them crazy. They couldn't.
Which they sell to everybody.
Yeah, well, again, but like Germans, they're so confused about cup holders. They don't get it.
Apparently.
Yeah, they don't get it.
So are we.
Yeah.
But you've been through Jerry's 917, right, Zuckerman?
Yeah.
When you open the back, the little luggage compartment they have for
that was a Le Mans requirement.
It's a Le Mans requirement. And there were a lot of little road car requirements that had to be in that car. A choice like that, I think, would be really cool to put in this 963, whatever it is. But the cup holder, I'm annoyed with.
Yeah, it's a dumb German joke.
Well, what about how fucking ugly it is? Can we talk about that? Like,
I don't
what
think
a
the car
miss on design. Also,
show me another angle.
Wait, what? The car?
Johnny thinks his car is ugly. I think this car is beautiful.
I think it's amazing.
Beautiful.
Yeah, gorgeous.
I don't like it.
Johnny, I'm worried about you, man.
I don't. It's just a miss. Like the wing is boring.
You're calling this a miss?
It just does. From a design, it does nothing. Like
nothing.
Oh
no.
Yeah.
It's a big, beautiful world with lots of different opinions. It's okay that you don't like it, Johnny. I hope the internet feels the same way, because if they don't, they're going to come after you, and I don't want them to do that.
I hope they
let's look at some video of this thing moving. Let's see what we have there. They had no real video without music. There it is, kind of. It just looks like the 963 race car, right?
Yeah, but just
I think it's gorgeous seeing it on the street like that. And look at this guy.
Oh no, that's good looking.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with you there. That's a beautiful car. Yeah, very nice. Where is that?
Le Mans. That's the old old quarter.
Look at this. Wow. This is Porsche's video. That's the guy laughing about the cup holder he put in the car. Ha ha ha, cup holder.
Timo.
Guess what? We put a big cup holder in car to make everyone laugh. Ha 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 ha. That's pretty cool though, right? Driving a 917 on the highway. Jeez. Oh man. Anyway, let's talk about RaceDeck. Our friends at RaceDeck for over 2 decades have been making the best floors for your garage. Cost-effective, durable, truly do-it-yourself modular floor system engineered just for you. We were at Zuckerman's on Friday night, again, marveling at his new floor that was like this floor, but only with gray tones that makes his garage look beautiful and the cars in it. Oh, yeah. Really makes him look photogenic, right? When I see that garage, it's unbelievable.
That 50, you had the 53?
Yeah, he had that.
Amazing. Amazing.
What is he doing? Who's he texting?
I'm looking at money, fool. You're I need to listen to this ad for the 80th time. How many times I could do this ad in my sleep? Self-draining technology, like Zuckerman. Yeah.
Keep going.
Keep going. No, the German Mahler, and he's got 189 patents. He started it out.
How much weight?
For his wife.
How much weight?
You can put
80,000. 80,000
pounds. And
what won't it do?
It will not drain.
Peel or stain. Keep going.
And then his wife wanted him to do it for her.
Which guy? What's his name?
Jürgen Mahler.
That's great.
He's got a Porsche.
Where are they made, RaceDeck?
right here in the United States of America.
How do they ship?
They ship them to your door.
Shop at RaceDeck.com. Use code Spike911 for exclusive 15% off free shipping. Thank you, Zuckerman.
Yes. The world's greatest ad.
Anytime you want to step in and do it.
If I listen to this one more time, I'm going
looking
to
at
have a
money,
stroke. I'm going to have a stroke if I listen to this shit.
Wow. We're only 14 minutes in.
I'm having a stroke. Think I'm apoplectic.
Strokes out.
We've lost our minds.
One day on the show, my eyes roll up in my head and I fall backwards, and that's the end of it.
That would be the best show.
The best show.
Good. That'd be a good show.
Yeah.
If we got to keep talking.
We could do our tribute to you. Cam could come around with a little mobile camera and we could just put it on your body as we talk about you.
If it wasn't for Rufus, I'd kill myself in front of everyone right now because of that race deck.
Oh, my. That was good. Somewhere here, I have a link to the Pebble Beach Concours, which I promised I would bring up.
I got to listen to that.
You have that right there? Look at this.
Hey.
This is pretty exciting.
Those are some old photos.
I finally like that photo. It's I finally aged into appreciation.
Well, hold on. Let me just set it up. Pebble Beach Concours Forum, whatever the dates are, August 16th. We're going to be there. It's any combination of the 5 people you see up there. And we're going to do this show that you're enjoying right now or not up at Pebble Beach. All the money goes for charity. I know the tickets are $100, but every dot of that money, oh God.
That wasn't me.
All the money goes to charity to the Monterey Boys and Girls Club or something. And
How he's going to do it.
I want to blow mine out. And I'll tell you what, Zuckerman, this went up and we're almost sold out.
Good.
I don't even know if by the time the show airs, there'll be tickets, but we promised we would promote it.
But they usually do a second round of tickets once it sells out quickly, right? So they usually add seat stars.
I don't know if this time they're going to do that, Jonny.
How about we don't even show up? We just have someone announce the Beatles have left the building.
We have a great time up there. It's going to be good. I'm excited about doing it. But if you are going to buy tickets quickly and get up there. Also, wanted to mention, we will be at Audrain shortly after.
That's right.
The Audrain Concours is flying us out, putting us up, and we're doing, I think, an audio show only out there, but in front of an audience and doing a meet and greet and doing that whole thing. And then
super fun.
Next year,
Anybody
even
needs
more
an
stuff.
extra
2
ticket.
other events reached out that you were talking about. We'll announce those. But we're starting to travel the show. We're starting to go places.
Traveling circus.
And yeah, it's going to be fun. Like getting to go to our favorite car events and actually doing some work. I'm sending a
hologram.
Did you see my post that said it's Porsche week here at Spike Star Radio?
I did.
I was trolling everybody because I knew everyone would write every week's Porsche week with you guys. And they're like, what are you talking about? But because Luke at Porsche,
smart guy,
knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he does, right?
He sends us the new Porsche GTSs at the same time, the same day, and knows that we'll get excited about it and talk about it.
It was funny because I think I saw the email first and he goes, I have both a cabriolet and a coupe. And I was like, I'm going to let Spike answer because I've driven them both already. But
that's nice.
I really want the coupe. And then you were like, I want the convertible.
Of course, for
tennis boy.
Well, let's talk about these cars right now.
Yes.
All right, here they are. The new Porsche Carrera GTS T-Hybrid models. We've got the coupe. And then turn right, Cameron.
Oh,
the cab in gentian blue.
Look at that shot. Which garage?
Yeah. The garage is really jammed up, Zuckerman.
Damn.
I thought I had the overflow in my hangar.
There's more stuff.
There's way more stuff again. How does this happen? We're going to have to secure more hangars.
Buy, sell, buy.
What color is your car, Jonny?
Guard's red.
All right. Well, what should we start with? The cab or the coupe? The coupe's right there. Let's just start with it.
Yeah.
They're essentially the same car, right? So this is the new. It has a totally new 3.6 liter single turbo flat 6 engine.
Electric turbo.
478 horsepower for the ICE, and electric motor is 53 for a total of 533 horsepower. 0 to 60 is about 3 seconds. Is that what you were getting, or is that been tested?
Motor Trend tested it 2.6 seconds.
That's what I'm feeling. Yeah, that's
it is
wild.
a friggin' rocket ship.
It's a rocket
quarter
ship, right?
in like 10.7, which remember the 918 Spider?
Yeah.
2.4 seconds. Same test team, same equipment. So 2.6 in this.
Yeah. You really love this car, right?
Love isn't the word I would use. This is it has a wonderful name of it's the Carrera 4 GTS. So it's the all-wheel drive. If I was my money, I'd get the rear drive. I think that the steering feel is hurt a lot by the extra 100 some odd pounds.
I would not disagree with that. I have the C4 as well.
Yeah.
And while I appreciated having all-wheel drive because of the acceleration and because of the turning, and because this car goes, my car, the same one as yours there, but it's just a personal preference thing. I would go rear wheel.
I would definitely go. I drove them both on the track in Spain, and I greatly preferred the rear driver, although the all-wheel drive is much quicker.
C4s are for weather states, in my opinion.
Yes.
For me, it's any place where you have weather. Get that. You'll be a lot more stable.
So I had 2 awesome drives up Angeles Crest. Yesterday, I was just driving with my hair on fire, and like people came up to me and they're like, dude, you were moving. And it just moved. There was a dude in a 981 Boxster GTS, and he could kind of like hang with me in the corners, but then as soon as it was a straight, it was just like, he even said, he's like, it was like a rocket ship. You just disappeared.
Yeah. And it's really a tremendous car. So turn around on my car, Cam. I obviously chose the cab because I'm playing tennis every 5 minutes.
What does tennis have to do with the cab?
Okay, let me paint a picture for you. You put your tennis bag in the front, which my tennis bag is in the front. You get in your convertible in your little outfit, and you go to the tennis court on a sunny day. That drive, you want a cab. You don't want a coupe. I call these cars, like these convertibles, tennis cars. It just feels right. You know, it was a great car that I used to do that in, Zuckerman? Our car, the 82 Targa.
That's right.
You take the Targa top off, you go to play tennis. It feels the right song. You just feel great before you even hit the court. But this car I have washed. This tells you how much I love it. I've washed it 4 times because I got it dirty 4 times. It rained a couple times, but I just could not stop driving this car. What an interesting color, which I didn't expect from gentian blue, which isn't one of my, it's a little purpley in the sunshine. Yeah. But just, straight A's in experience, in my experience, and how the world likes it in usage. You and I were shooting groceries in the front boot. It's one of those cars like if Spike Feresten had gone into finance or into business.
Orthodontist. Orthodontistry.
I would be so happy driving this every single day of my life.
It's
every single day.
What's amazing about modern 911s is that, like, when I went to meet you for coffee the other morning, I was stuck in traffic the whole way. It took an hour and 4 minutes to go 20 miles. Yeah. It was totally comfortable, totally fine. And there's no indication that you're in this monster car.
Yeah.
There's also no indication you're in a hybrid. You would never know it's a hybrid. There's nothing.
Take it. Yeah, I don't know about that. Cam, look at the lower edge of the door. Right here. This is how you know you're in a hybrid. Yeah. See if you see that. That I would want to get T-Hybrid delete on this.
I would get Zuckerman's hairdryer and take that off.
And it stands for turbo hybrid, but it's not sexy. It's not something I need advertised.
It's hybrid.
What's that?
A thybrid. My thybrid.
I'm on thybrid.
My thybrid.
There are a couple more interesting little things here. The hybrid system adds only about 110 pounds to the car, right?
Yep.
It's got no starter motor.
No.
Which is not something you would think about, but you press the button, there's a little bit of a delay, and then the car starts up. Yeah. It's an interesting new start. It's not anything that would bother you. It's just an interesting, there's no crank anymore. It doesn't crank. You can only get these guys with 8-speed PDK turbo, right?
It's only an 8-speed.
PDK transmission,
The hybrid motor is a pancake-shaped thing that's in the bell housing. In fact, the 992.1,
ooh, look at that.
There was space in the bell housing for a motor. They just never got to it. So, and that's why there's no crank, because it's just the hybrid motor starts it up.
Hey, take the key out, Cam, and open up the front, and you'll see how the tennis bag fits in perfectly. You know how they would say 911s are just for 2 people and a golf bag in the back? Look at how perfectly the tennis bag fits in the front. There's a little lever there. Look at Cam. Let me find it.
The young gentleman doesn't know. That's okay.
Cam. There it is. Look at that. There's your tennis bag.
Old man knowledge.
Wait. Push in on the tennis bag.
Here's your tennis bag.
There it is. Oh, look, my empty Babolat. So that's where I put my juice. So I have that. I fill that with red caffeine juice. But it's empty. But see how perfect it is? It's a perfect little thing. That's why keep it as the tennis car. All right, close it. We've got improved ceramic composite brakes.
Yep.
Right?
These are
plus 10 millimeters in the front, plus 20 millimeters in the rear.
Lowered, yeah.
10 piston fixed calipers on the front axle, increased from 6, and 4 piston fixed calipers on the rear, same as the prior generation. Look at the rear. It's a pretty car. Really
it is
beautiful.
Much, much better in that color than the red.
Right. Rear axle.
I like the red.
Rear axle steering is standard.
Yeah.
Sport chrono standard.
Yeah.
Sport exhaust standard.
GTS.
You know, the sound is interesting. It sounds like it's that 992 side I loved when the new 992 came out. Remember, Zuckerman? It sounded like 2 exhaust notes slightly off.
Right.
Like, it's got a beautiful sound.
It's actually a killer sound because what they did was they went from the 3-liter to the 3-liter twin turbo to a 3.6 single turbo. So it's a bassier sound than 911s usually have. And the turbo is fascinating because it's an electric turbo. So in other words, the battery spins it, and it spins at 120,000 RPM. And when you're in Sport Plus, it keeps it at 120,000.
Right.
Literally no lag. It's a lag-free
You don't feel
turbo.
that.
But if you're in Sport or Comfort, and then when the turbo starts to wind down, that energy regenerates, and that actually goes back into the battery.
Smart.
Which is it's just
smart.
They don't need to do that, but it's really cool.
And there's no fully electric driving mode. That's not what this is. There's no place to plug it in.
It's a 1.9 kilowatt hour battery.
Yeah.
It's the same size actually as like a traditional car battery. The battery itself weighs 60 pounds. It fits in this exact same spot of the 911 battery. So it's not even like a Prius. It's literally the hybrid system's a performance enhancer. It's all it does is make
I
it
feel
go
so
quicker.
much love for this car just looking at it. I cannot wait to drive it. It really got under my skin. Really a perfect thing. I'm really happy with it. I don't know what else to say. These are great cars. The only I would just tell Porsche, I would say, and I wanted to do it on the show. I wanted to bring a hairdryer and take that T-Hybrid off the side of it because I just thought it's an unnecessary advertisement in the same way that Carrera T that we had. Remember that?
Right.
It had that weird manual transmission.
Yes.
MT. That's another weird thing. Just we could take that off. You have a perfect thing. You drive it. You're gonna love it. And
Okay, so the 3 controversies. Let's see how you feel about
3.
it. All right. The vents in the front. Do we care?
They're a little much.
I'll tell you what. Here's why I appreciated them, because in LA, you see a lot of 911s, and you know that feeling you get when you have the new 911 and you see the old 911 and you go, that guy's looking at me right now going, I need to get a new car.
Yeah.
That front vent is the signal that this is the latest, greatest 911 to me. And I actually like the way it looks.
I don't think it's attractive, and I think it's hidden a little bit better on the blue car. On the red car, it's too stark.
I would say this.
The darker color of the paint.
Right.
I would like you,
better.
Zuckerman, if you feel like standing up and looking, but I feel that they don't photograph well, they don't video well, but in person, I think they look better. And then also, I don't have it in front of me, but each little channel does something different. So you have like the inner channel cools the battery. The next one cools the front brakes. One of them cools the rear brakes. One of them cools something else. And it's like, when they open up, you have like 5 cooling channels, and then when you want to go really fast, they close, and you're more aerodynamic.
That's cool.
It's kind of right. Okay, next controversy.
Let's get to it quick. We got a lot of show here. What's that?
Start button.
Start button
instead
on the
of a
left
key.
is fine. What's the problem?
Everyone's like, they got rid of the key.
Good.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I don't want to have a key sitting around and then a weird half key sticking out of the thing and no place to put. I don't even like.
I like keys.
This here, yeah, but Zuckerman, look, zero in on that center area right there, that little cup holdery thing. There was a cup holder in the glove compartment. I yanked it out and put this in. You put the key in it. It just lives in there and you drive your car. Life is easier. It's better. It's simpler.
Just remember, like the Porsche keys are on the left because when you're doing the race start at Le Mans, it's real relatable. As you're getting in the car, you can put it in gear and start it at the same time. Well, what's quicker, like turning a key or pushing a start button?
This is the most efficient way to do this.
Right.
It's fine. I mean, if we could get rid of the key altogether, that'd be even better. All right, third controversy.
The all digital dash. So in other words,
love it.
you
It's
don't
great.
have an analog tachometer anymore.
Do you have the key? Press the button on the dash there and start it.
Oh God.
Let it just boot up and let's show it to us. There, and then there's obviously the annoying guest screen. I thought this was okay. I think either you like digital stuff or you don't.
But let me just show it real quick. Clock tap.
I think for something that's a hybrid, a thybrid.
Look at him go.
It should be all.
I gotta show you this. You gotta see.
Digital.
You gotta see this different screen.
Okay, go back to the tachometer. So you can have a clocked tach. So in other words, instead of having one down at 4 o'clock, one's now on the left. Red line is basically straight up. I think red line's like 7,400. It's so awesome that you can have a clock tach. So just like I don't have a problem with screens. I have a problem with when the software, the programming shitty. This is great programming. This is like the coolest. I love it. What name another production car with a clock tach?
There you go. Here's my question to you, Johnny. I have a question. Okay, now here's a real question.
Why do I bother? Is that the question? Yeah. Why put any effort into this?
Why are you in this show?
Right. That's what I'm asking myself.
No, I have a real question. Let me ask my real question here, okay? So, and this is a question that came up. You know, you review cars on a very technical level. I kind of review them at a lifestyle level. So there were people coming to me going, what's the point of the plug-in hybrid version? And I explained to them.
It's not a plug-in.
No, of the hybrid version of the 911. Correct. You're sorry. Why even go through it, right? So I explained to them the basic idea, but am I understanding it correctly that the emissions are now cleaner coming out of this car? That there's less pollutants?
Yeah, but not because of the hybrid system. The emissions are cleaner because they went to the 3.6 liter, and because it has more displacement, they could lower the compression, and that's why they're cleaner.
So what is the number one selling point of the hybrid drivetrain?
Power. So that's it. It's a way to go from whatever the Carrera S now makes to add another 60 horsepower.
Okay, good. Yeah. There you go.
It's just literally power.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Let's talk about Acre Gold. Acre Gold.
We're all rich.
You want to do this one too?
Yeah. Acre Gold to your door. The gold comes. It's like a subscription, and every month you can invest in gold, and you get a little grain of gold.
That's very good.
Teeny piece of gold.
For as little as how much? What is the minimum investment?
$19.
$30 a month
is all you need.
What's the difference?
Cameron, Google the price of gold right now. Let's see where we're at. If you had been listening to us, you would have made, so look at this, $3,331 an ounce. When we started doing the Acre Gold ads, it was, I think, $2,600
We told you.
Your fingernails would have been expanding to giant fingernails.
You'd be driving Porsches right now.
It's grains of salt.
We did tell people it's one of those rare instances we would have made you a lot of money, but it's not too late.
We will never make you money.
Until your gold stash reaches the price of Acre Gold bars, and then Acre discreetly ships to your home. Acre Gold has $50, $100, and $250 per month options for larger gold bars. Acre is backed by the same team who funded Liquid Death canned water. And some customers have been subscribed for over 4 years. I've been subscribed for a year now.
Look at the lifestyle photo.
Yeah.
If you had Anchor Gold, you're going to have expensive tequila. You'll have expensive booze. You'll have really nice crystal glasses.
And a pine cone.
A pine cone.
You guys are missing the cup holder of this shot. The black skull.
No, yeah, that's what he said.
Tequila.
He said nice glassware.
Yeah, I think that's a tequila thing, right?
That's Dan Aykroyd's tequila company.
The black skull?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And then look at the crystal.
I want a bar of gold. I really want a bar.
All right, well.
Why don't we get one?
All right, let's get one. Right.
They sent you gold. They sent
me a little. I want a
Will Anchor Gold send us a whole ounce of gold?
No, as much as you want.
I want a whole
kilo.
Well, but you got to pay for it.
Okay.
Wow, I don't know.
It's $3,330
for an ounce. And so 16 ounces in a pound?
We can, you want something big?
Those days?
Yeah,
That's what I'm doing.
But you want like 40
right off the top of your head.
You want a kilo.
That was great.
You want a kilo of gold.
So how much is that going to cost?
A lot of money. 40 times 33.
Oh, yeah. Okay, whatever.
All right. I'm just saying.
You know what would be good? The Nazi gold, Zuckerman.
Well, of course. Yeah.
Yes, stamp with those nice marks.
All right.
Yes.
We have so much show. We're not going to get to everything. You're going to have to tune in next week. We have
Gold
a lot of fun. There are lots of things I want to bring up to my
your two stooges.
My two stooges. I was going to say my illustrious panel, but then the words were like the brain went, no, don't say that. They're not. Two stooges, way better. Okay, first, Volkswagen. So on the show, I think we were with James Pumphrey. I don't know if you guys were here for that, but right after the fires, we were looking at this Volkswagen bus that survived the Palisades fires. Here's a shot of it right there. What a beautiful shot. How iconic it was, how beautiful it was, and how if Volkswagen steps in, I hope they don't ruin it in a restoration. Well, this week, they've decided they are going to restore it. And the owners couldn't be happier. They're very, very excited. But, obviously their house burned down and they didn't know what to do with this thing. And this car, now Volkswagen has said, we're going to restore it for you. The car is, I guess, right here somewhere. It's on their Oxnard campus, 35 miles away, where Volkswagen has a facility and houses and maintains a fleet of classic vehicles. And my fear, I think, and what I was talking to Mr. Pumphrey about, and you guys, let me actually just throw it out to you guys. Like, do you do a full-on restoration and make this thing look new? Or do you do what I call the Seinfeld ice racer restoration, where you make it work underneath, you make the engine, you do what you have to do, but kind of keep this as a memory of what happened to the west side of LA? Do you keep some of the fire burn, in other words?
It's like keeping a segment of the Berlin Wall.
Right.
I would agree that if I was the owner, I'd want it perfectly restored and the memory erased. If I'm not the owner, I want the representation. I want it to be cooked up so I can remember.
But there's don't you think there's some in between? Like Pumphrey and I were saying, like that passenger door burn, you leave it.
Having lived through a fire, having had a house burn down, right. I never wanted to be reminded of that.
Right.
And the
That's
smell and the
That's
smell of it. And so if you recall, I had that black Carrera S Cabriolet that was in the driveway. It didn't burn up, but it had a smell. And I hated getting in that car.
The thing about any fire.
Well, we would de-smellify it. But I think your larger point is valid. I think that makes perfect sense. Why would you want to be reminded of what happened? But counterpoint, we should remember it. We don't want to forget that. Well,
you remember
happened,
with photographs.
I don't. But this, I don't know. It's a really good point, Zuckerman. You're right. These people went through something, and they want.
It's all perspective, right?
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, anytime you have any kind of adhesive, the smoke gets into the glue and you're done. That's the hardest thing to repair with fire damage.
Well, I think that's the highest bar of what you could do with this, but I don't know. I think you might be right. I think
so. But if I may, if Volkswagen is listening to us and they want to help with cars, but if they are,
the people they are.
I got a couple of VWs here. Like I've got this Series 1. Type 34, and there's a couple of parts that are unobtainable, like the shift plate.
That's easy. We can get you in touch with those guys.
Okay, I'd love to be in touch with them.
That's easy.
Yeah.
Everything we talk about automotive-wise, I get a text about from the automotive community. Last week or the week before. No, from the companies.
Yeah.
There's always someone from SCR Nation everywhere we talk about, and they reach out. So remember we were talking about the ST? Was that with you guys?
Yeah.
The 911 ST that was sold for $734,000. The San Luis Obispo Porsche. Suddenly it turns up there 5 minutes later and then disappeared.
Taken down,
Got a text from a guy who said, hey, Spike, I work at San Luis. I listened to the show.
Right.
My boss saw your Instagram reel about it and said, who are these guys?
Clowns. Who are these clowns?
Yeah.
He said.
He's got a point.
Who are these clowns?
And I said, did Porsche ask you to take the car down? He goes, no. We were just having some technical trouble with getting it up and down. And then I said, well, why was it advertised for the price of $888,888? Which is a weird.
Because we're greedy.
Yeah. If you look at all, and this is what he wrote back, if you look at all the STs available, they are all priced around the same range. My general manager, who is the one that prices all the cars, has an affinity for the number 8, hence all the 8s. P.S. He's not Asian.
Oh, that's I gave a knowing look to Lieberman. I got that one right.
You got it wrong, right?
Yes.
Because 8s are lucky in
China.
And what about 5s?
4s are bad.
4s are bad. 5s are not. So.
Why do we think 9s are good?
Why do we think 13's bad?
13s, I think, are good.
Well, not a lot of 13 floors in Vegas.
Next Friday is Friday the 13th. That's a lucky day for me.
That's a lucky day. Yeah, it's good. Well, but why? But getting back to the ST price, and this car, we'll leave the car at that. I think you might be right, Zuckerman. But Is 888 an attractive number to buy a car? Does that make you want to buy that car, Zuckerman?
Only in China.
No, you. I'm asking you.
Not me. No, okay, just as an amount, or is it as numerals?
But you
Take off 1.8.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, even numbers don't sell as well as $49.99. You want to sell something for $50, it's going to sell better if it's $49.99, right?
The Jewish guy invented that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been told by some
But
clients.
the 8s,
Hey, you Jews.
What else do they have to say?
Yeah.
so the 8s you think are just a marketing stuff.
Yes.
That somebody's going to want the ST or not want
Right.
the ST, right? Okay.
$900,000 for an ST is,
Good for us.
I guess.
Definitely worth it.
I say
bargain.
we're running, yeah.
Based
I
on
too.
based on the people I talk to all week long who are wanting one,
Yeah.
definitely worth it.
Yeah. Well, hey, if you can just take the check, they'll give you $900,000. Just take
I
it.
can offset the bath I'm taking in 356s right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, which are great cars too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great
Nobody
cars,
wants
too.
one.
I'd like.
I don't know,
But
but
you're going to be able to get one soon.
I'll take one of yours when you keel over.
Yeah.
I've been driving your Super 90 GT, that Condor yellow car, and
Wow.
it's tremendous.
Tremendous.
Car. And up against the, we just showed you these GTSs, which are the most technology forward 911 ever. You go back, I got into that car and drove, and boy, was that a peaceful, lovely experience.
Yeah.
And that's a race car too, right? An unbelievable car that people love.
I think the best Porsche I ever drove still to this day, I drove that America Roadster, the 53.
Wow.
Like, one of 17.
Right.
It had 70 horsepower and a key. I think that was all the features. Like,
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Did I send you a link for this G-Wagon story?
No.
You can just Google it, Cam. Oh, you got it up? This is apparently something that was leaked by someone at Mercedes. It doesn't show who it attributes it to, so it's not quite clear who at Mercedes leaked this. But some anonymous executive has admitted that the G-Class, electric G-Class, is a failure. The German publication looked at sales figures and determined that just 1,450 units of the electric G-Wagon class have been sold since it went on sale a year ago. The standard G-Wagon, available with both gas and diesel engines, has achieved almost 10,000 units in sales in the same period. Cue the sad trombone. I've driven this car. I consider it one of the best G-Wagons I've ever driven.
Yeah,
it's
totally
amazing, right? Am I wrong,
Yeah,
Johnny?
you're not wrong at all. No, it's amazing. I would say they made two mistakes with it. One is by insisting on doing the weird like square thing on the back for the charging cable.
Right.
Like it just looks, it's not as good looking. They also, there's no like bumper guard. Like all modern G-Wagons have bumper guards. It looks a little old. And what was the other mistake was that, again, it's $180,000 and it makes 1 horsepower more than the G63. In other words, they know Rivian exists. Rivian has a 4-motor SUV.
Right.
This is a 4-motor SUV. The Rivian for, probably 125, 130 when it comes out, makes 1,025 horsepower. This makes 580. Like, it doesn't have a ton of range. It's not as quick as it could be. They kind of neutered it because they didn't want to, for some reason, hurt the G63, which is their cash cow. By the way, yes, they've sold 10,000 G550s and G63s. That's probably like 9-to-1 G63 to G550. Right. Nobody buys a G550. Failure, 1,400 units of a very expensive car. I don't know. It doesn't really.
I think for me, this is a sales failure, but as a vehicle, it's a huge success. There's a really interesting disparity, and it's almost like, a great movie that no one bought tickets for, but it's still a great movie, right? And
well
someday
said,
you'll discover it, right? I drove this and could not, and it's funny because when they offered it to me, I did the same calculus pretty quickly. I went, why would you make this thing that represents so many different ideas, right? Electric. It just doesn't make sense to me, right? Maybe the old Scout, which is dead, put an electric drivetrain, reinvent it. But this thing's living just fine and doesn't really need this electric platform. I got it and drove it and went, oh my God, I like this better than every other G-Wagon I've ever driven. It's more usable, it's eco-friendly, it's nice, it's quiet. It was just perfect. And I think it's just hard for people to make that approach because of that first thought you have. You just dismiss it right out of hand.
we're also in a dumb area. Sorry to cut you off, but real quick. We're like, everyone hates it on EVs. Like, the morons are winning. Stupidity's running rampant.
I don't think that's it.
I think that's part of it. But I would say, and you're claiming someone from Mercedes is listening right now, take that powertrain, that drivetrain, put it in the GLS, and because of the longer wheelbase, you could put a bigger battery in there, because this is hamstrung by being a G-Wagon. The range is too low. You put this capability into the 3-row GLS and give it like 300 miles of range. Winner, chicken dinner. Like that would.
How about this? Keep bringing the prices down so I can get one. I would get this in 2 seconds. This would be my new daily.
It's a very you car. Yeah.
Just done.
How much range does this have?
It's like 240.
But it's Zuckerman. It's different, than the fake Tesla 240.
Right.
It's a legitimate 240, and it's fine, and it works right.
Is the power enough?
Yeah, it's great. It jams. I loved it.
I would also say they had already announced it, but they did a really quiet release. But they have a new lithium sodium battery chemistry coming out now, probably like within 10 months. But it'll add.
What is
Let
that?
me drink some lithium sodium.
It should add like 20% of range to the existing package size.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to add some range to your package size.
Little lithium sodium in my cocktail.
Yeah.
I need some lithium.
Lithium and sodium. This is kind of a left turn, but show this clip on Seinfeld. If you want to understand why we do comedy in cars, you want to see, here's a clip of when it was more comedy than cars. This is a clip of Newman at the end, I think, of the junk mail. I don't remember which episode it is of mine that I wrote. Maybe it's not even mine. This is Newman in an NSX. Yeah. He's a mailman.
With his mailman shoes.
Yeah. I remember, I think it was with Andy Robin and Greg Cavett. Oh, it's the Muffin Tops. There you go. That is my episode. Top of the muffin to you. By the way, you can buy shirts and T-shirts and clocks with that logo on it, and I get no money. It's all over the internet. I don't know who's keeping an eye on the copyright.
I'm going to buy 2.
Don't buy it until we can get a hold of it. I asked Jerry, did you give permission for these people on Etsy to sell so much stuff? And he goes, I guess so. I go, you didn't, dude. You didn't. So this car, I don't know. I just remember Andy Robin and I making this choice, I think, on our own, that Newman drives an NSX without any care. It's got to be maybe the last season for the realistic idea that a mailman could afford an NSX. We just thought it would be funny. And this car was delivered to CBS Radford, and they had this big empty spot where they used to shoot Gilligan's Island, this big empty lot in front of that. Like the lagoon was still at CBS Radford. And it was just a big patch of asphalt. And when the car was delivered, they left it there. And Andy and I took this NSX and hooned the fuck out of it. We had never driven anything like this. We were like, oh, exotic supercar, right? I didn't know as much about cars. I don't know much now, but still, I knew much less at that point.
Is this after Pulp Fiction or before Pulp Fiction? Pulp Fiction was 96, I want to say.
This is after.
It would be after, 97, 98.
Okay.
Somewhere in there.
Remember, Keitel's
the Wolf.
The Wolf had the
But we had so much fun with this car, just blasting it around that big empty lot. It was like 200 yards of just asphalt and a good time.
And that was just, you're like, let's put him in a supercar.
It just made us laugh that Newman would drive this, but it made us laugh for the wrong reasons. Like, this could never happen, but this should annoy some people watching, so we're gonna do it. Perfect. And I think we were thinking, we've never really had a chance to order a cool car for this show. Usually it's weird smaller cars, right? Or Jerry drove the Saab in the show,
right.
But we thought, wow, it'd be really cool just to see something, because we essentially just lived there. We lived on this lot 7 days a week, and we thought if we bring a cool car, we'll have something to do for an hour that won't feel like work. If you back it up a little bit, you'll see another car that people ask us about.
Starion.
The Mitsubishi Starion, right there. Yeah, that's a car people ask us about all the time. Who put that there? I have no idea. It wasn't any one of us. It was whoever was wrangling cars for us at the time. Could have been director of photography Wayne Keenan. He could have done it.
So true story, and I know this, and I'll even name a name. Dan Edmonds, who worked for Mitsubishi at the time, I believe. He writes for Car and Driver now.
Why isn't he writing for Edmonds?
Yeah, right. He used to work at Edmonds. He did for years.
That's where he belongs.
Well, they fired him. He's a Car and Driver. Great guy.
They fired him?
They did.
Edmunds fired. I mean, if you think you had some job security, I would go, oh, I'm home.
No.
This is my lesson.
He was there for 20 years, I think. But he worked there, and that was the Mitsubishi Stallion.
Yes.
And they in California, they called and they said, what's the name of the car? And they said, Starion. It's the Mitsubishi Starion. And so they wrote the press materials. The Starion does this and this. Shows up as Stallion badges. They do emergency rush Starion badges. And that's actually a true story.
So the L's and the R's.
The L's and the R's. Classic Lollapalooza. But it was supposed to be the Stallion because it was going to compete with the Mustang. But it became the Starion, which is way better.
Was it better in Chrysler trim or Mitsubishi trim? Remember that weird thing?
Well, there was a Plymouth Laser,
right,
and there was the Dodge Daytona.
That's what it was.
Yeah. But the Plymouth Laser was the best one because you had a car called the Laser.
Right.
All right, I've got some conversation starters for BlueChew. You pick your favorite, and then we'll have a conversation about it. All right, here's the first one. More horsepower? Enough said. That's your first one. Everyone could use an extra hand with BlueChew. You get an extra leg.
Yeah.
Or BlueChew won't stop until every man is bricked up like a brick house. That is the mission.
We really need Jerry for the bricked up.
Yeah.
That's sort of his.
I really love that he picked up on that. Bricked up. Like normally, like if I were him, I'd be, celebrity. I don't even want to comment on these commercials, these ad reads. He's so comedy focused. He just went bricked up. He went like this. His comedy antenna. It doesn't matter. There's comedy in bricked up. Well, guys, be ready when she needs it so you can be bricked up. Great sex is just a few clicks away. Sign up at BlueChew.com. Consult with one of their hot licensed medical providers. And once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. BlueChew tablets are made in the U.S. and prepared and shipped directly to your door.
Like RaceDeck.
Yes. Self-draining. And self-draining too.
It's not self-draining. You need a little help with that training.
Oh, it could be. That's true.
Either way.
The best part is all done online. That means no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Make your life easier by getting harder and discover your options at BlueChew.com. And we've got a special deal for you listeners. Your BlueChew is free. It's free.
Free hugs.
Your BlueChew is free. When you use promo code Spike911, just pay $5 shipping. That's promo code Spike911. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. And we thank BlueChew for sponsoring the podcast.
You're having a stroke again.
BlueChew will not kill you.
Can we get some blue bricks and then throw them at Spike?
Oh, can they make us a BlueChew blue prick? The blue prick, but blue brick.
Here, throw this one at my head. Here you go. Go ahead. Come on. Try to hit my head with it. Oh, you hit the arm.
Got the arm.
Yeah.
All right. Before we go, some house cleaning here. Okay. Oh no, we have a good thing. We have this quiz. I have a quiz for you guys.
The quiz master.
Quiz.
Quizling.
Let's put up the quiz. It's the first frame there. It says there's a little instruction there, Cam, in the rundown. You'll see. It says only put up first frame so I can quiz the boys.
Come on, Cam.
All right, here we go. So don't change this, Cam. These are the paint colors that decrease a car's value the most. All right.
I hate this already.
Our friends at IC Cars have done a study analyzing over 1.2 million used cars and it has shattered the conventional wisdom that neutral colors are the safest for resale value. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Ooh.
All right. And I have different categories of cars.
Now I love it.
But it goes by depreciation. Percentage highest depreciation. I have a list of, let's say, 10, and it is vehicle depreciation by color. Obviously, the highest depreciation would be the color that depreciates the most on cars in general. And I would kind of open your eye. I would say, let's think bigger than Porsche and exotic cars. Okay.
I'm thinking of minivans.
The worst color you can get. Anybody want to guess? The worst color that leads to the most depreciation on a car.
I'm going to say white or black.
I'm going to say black. You say white. I'll say black.
You guys are really good. You're close.
Gray.
You're at the bottom of the list. There's a list of 12 colors. Number 10 is black. Number 11 is white. But number 12, you have not guessed.
Gray? Silver?
Or blue.
You're closer with silver. What is opposite of silver?
Gold?
Gold.
Gold?
Gold is the worst color you can get on a car. Okay.
That's fair.
Now let's go to the top of the list. The colors that depreciate the least. 1, 2, and 3. What do you think they are?
I'm going to take a wild stab at
Okay.
this. I'm going to say, because you said it's all counterintuitive, yellow holds its value the most.
Correct.
And I'm
Really?
gonna say-
How did you guess that?
And I'm gonna say-
because that's the yellow car.
That's orange. That's orange.
And I'm going to say orange is second.
Yes.
What?
How did you know this?
Counterintuitive.
No, he's seen this whole study.
It's right there on the screen. We're looking at you, dumb idiot. You put it up. You knothead. You put all of the answers right there on the side.
God.
Okay, how did I know that? I read it right up there on the screen.
Couldn't see it. The camera's blocking.
What is this? A Singer 911? That looks like it's signal yellow to me.
I think that's that.
What was the third, though?
it could be.
Third, I have no idea. Red?
Third was green.
Green.
With beautiful greens.
So where does blue and red come in?
It's kind of in the middle. Red is number 5. I would have gone red as the least popular. And
Where's blue?
Blue is at 9.
Really?
So it depreciates
where's
more.
purple?
In this list, it says blue depreciates more.
But you
than
realize
red.
currently blue 911s sell the best.
No, I know. I said that's
Yeah.
why I said think outside.
Because there's 80 blues.
Yeah.
I would say, look, it's like conventional wisdom. So everyone buys a black, gray. You didn't say American car dealers think everybody wants white, black, or gray. And we live in this, again, grayscale world. So they're all wrong. Since every single car is white, black, or gray,
Right.
they're going to depreciate the most. And the fewest, I think, orange and purple and yellow are the least populars. Where's purple, by the way?
On that list, it's not on that list. I don't think.
Yeah, purple's probably even better than yellow.
Not that many purple cars to be relevant.
But I bought a yellow car and then they discontinued the color.
So they also then get into trucks, highest depreciating color for a truck. Let's just go there. You want to guess? Worst color, in other words,
I'm
for a
still
truck.
going to go gray.
Red.
Really?
Red is the worst. Best, orange.
I think these people are making this shit up.
Okay, SUV. Worst color for an SUV, highest depreciation. Black.
Same thing.
Best color, orange.
What orange? Oh,
I think these guys have shares in an orange paint company.
None of this is making sense.
Okay, minivan. Worst
White.
color for a minivan. White. Correct, Johnny. Best color,
Black.
green.
There's no green minivan.
An old Astro van.
That's why they're
an
worth
old
money.
Chevy Astro van.
Yeah, that's why they're worth money. I guess that gets
And
kinda
sedans.
confusing.
Worst color for a sedan, depreciating.
Everything.
Gold.
White.
Yeah.
Gold.
Yeah.
Best, orange again. But show me an orange sedan.
I think Audi had an orange.
Yeah, RS3 you can get an
Yeah.
orange. Yeah, they do. Yeah.
They did.
I mean, you could.
They do.
You could look any luxury car maker. I mean, Cadillac makes orange cars. They'll paint whatever you want.
But we can paint whatever you want.
Are we done with this shit?
No, not yet. Yeah, we are. We're going to say goodbye.
Yeah.
But before, I want to just take one lap and talk about the Fisker Ocean. Because I feel like there are a couple things I need to correct. Not long ago, we did what's turned out to be a viral video about the Cybertruck being the very worst vehicle ever made.
Well,
right?
biggest flop in automotive history.
Biggest flop in automotive history.
Yeah.
And what we left out was the actual biggest flop in automotive history. The Fisker Ocean. To me, the Fisker Ocean, and I was reminded of it because Edmunds, you remember Edmund that worked at Edmunds?
Dan, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
They had a Fisker Ocean there that they bought for nearly $70,000 that they've been trying to unload, and they finally sold it for $10,000.
$10,000,
Yeah.
That much?
That much. It made me look up what was going on in the current Fisker Ocean market. I was surprised to see that there were 2 pages of cars still for sale, mostly in Orange County.
I see one every day. I see an Ocean every day.
But no, for sale, I'm talking about the listings. And it's one of those dealer things. The second you see this, you go, okay, well, I would buy a Fisker Ocean for maybe $9,000, $10,000,
Hell
right?
yeah.
Right? You go and you look at the cars.com listings or whatever. They're all the same price of $23,500 that some guy has
a
2
blue book, yeah.
pages of them at some dealership down there. But if you watch the YouTube videos on them, man, they're just full of problems. Seats not working and the rest of it.
Do we give this thing to Pumphrey for the demolition derby?
No, but we got to check in. He reached out and said he does want to do this.
We have to do it.
They must be shooting another video right now, but we'll text him. He's ready to go.
I would like to point out, though, when you said it's obviously the Cybertruck, I did say, no, Fisker Ocean and Fisker Karma. I did say that.
You did?
Yeah.
Well, Johnny,
They're big in North Korea.
you were so wrong at the top of the show, but at the end of the show, I'm going to say you're so right.
Oh, no, let's not start this again with the cup holder. I'll have another stroke. My third stroke of the show.
But he's right. If you said that back then, you were right.
I sure did. I think I said Yugo. I said many other flops.
That's right. And these different opinions is fine. That's what makes this show so beautiful.
Oh, is that what makes it beautiful?
Now you're allowed to have a different opinion. Finally, at the end of the show, we're finished. Your opinion comes after the show.
And that's our show this week. Next week, you won't see Johnny here. He's been asked to leave the show.
And Zuckerman will be dead.
And Zuckerman
Has died.
We'll see you next week on Spike's Car Radio. Let's take a look at the newly dead Zuckerman. There he is. And Rufus nearby, trusty to the end.
Yeah, you take Rufus. I'll take the 73 2.7 RS.
That's our show, ladies and gentlemen.